on the 18th of April, we celebrate the feast day of St. John of Ioaninna. The following are some details on his life and works. When John was born in Ioaninna in northern Greece, now Epirus, his was the second generation of noble Greek Christians to live under the heel of the Muslim invaders who had streamed in from Asia Minor. Apprenticed as a tailor in his hometown, he grew up to resign himself to the stark fact that the Greek was a second-class citizen in his own country, but to his everlasting credit, he placed Jesus Christ second to no one. After the death of his parents, John, by now a fully fledged tailor, went to the city of Constantinople, where he set up a modest shop and found a good measure of happiness in his work and in his new friends, among whom were a number of Turks in his age bracket. The tailor made a friend of every customer whom he happened to serve, and his business flourished to a degree that exceeded his highest expectations. Despite his youth, he was a respected member of the business community and was as much at ease with Turkish merchants as he was with his Greeks. For business acumen and integrity, the Greek merchants enjoyed a considerable edge over the Turks of Constantinople, most of whom held their conquered subjects in high esteem, but some of whom felt a smouldering envy. The personable John had the misfortune to be singled out by a group of rowdies who construed his polite manner as a weakness they could exploit. They made the further mistake of interpreting his forbearance as a form of cowardice, which would make him an easy prey to threats, the fear of which would even make him deny Christ. The contentment John had found in his tailor shop gave way to near despair, as the ruffians taunted him with insults and left him no peace, and a dwindling number of customers. As the merciless badgering continued, the hapless John entertained the idea of leaving the city. Since he was not the kind of man easily put to rout, he instead sought the advice of Father Kalothetos, the pastor of the church which he attended regularly. The kindly priest considered that the best thing to do was to bear up under these verbal assaults until the Turks inevitably tired of it. John went back to his shop with renewed resolve to make the best of a bad situation, but the relentless Turks continued to make his life miserable. One night in a dream, the harassed tailor saw 3 young men of the Old Testament singing as they stood before a fiery pit. He did not know exactly what to make of this, except to feel that he was going to be tested to the extreme. This was borne out when on that day the Turks banded together in his shop and said that they were through with innuendo and insisted that he disavow the Saviour for Muhammad. That was more than the Christian John could bear, and for the first time he shouted back in anger, "How can I, a devout Christian, turn to Muhammad, whom you have proved to be an enemy of Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God?" He ordered them out of his shop and enjoyed a moment of peace, but only for as long as it took the rascals to return with an arresting party who cast him into prison, after which he was condemned to die by fire. Patriarch Jeremiah intervened on behalf of the condemned prisoner, but all he could get was a delay of execution until after the Easter holidays. John went to his fiery death singing the sacred Christos Anesti hymn. He gave his life for Christ on the 18th of April, 1526.